Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est lundi le 9 mai. We are getting to the end here. This is our third to last lundi, so pretty exciting. Cette semaine, this week, it's going to be a very typical week. Deux discussions, une traduction, translation, Flipgrid. We're going to finish up our story, Je suis jalouse. You have your quick write and a couple, end of the week oldies but goodies. Et pour aujourd'hui, il y a un nouveau mot de passe. On va faire une discussion avec aujourd'hui dans l'histoire. TPR, you can practice that for your Flipgrid, and then you have your traduction pour la personne. Pour Je suis jalouse, partie 1. Okay, alors, le nouveau mot de passe, it's actually a series of words, and it comes with actions. So here's what we're going to do. It goes sur, sous, dans, devant, derrière. So when we say our mot de passe, we also do the actions. Sur, sous, dans, devant, derrière. It's part of a song that I will put on one of your videos this week, but that helps you to remember the different prepositions. So for now, just start working on those gestures that go along with them to help you remember what they mean. Aujourd'hui, c'est lundi le 9 mai et c'est la journée de l'Europe. When we think of Europe, we typically think of the continent, and that's true. It is geographically a continent, but it is also kind of shorthand now for what we call the European Union. And the European Union is a group, as you probably know, of 26, 27, something in those lines, member countries that all have kind of shared values, and they share their resources, and then they're able to, their citizens are able to travel freely within the European Union. It just makes it so that they're not a bunch of separate countries, even though they still maintain their separate identities and officially are separate countries, but they still all have that common ground as well. And the European Union is actually something that has been progressively more of an entity since the middle of the 20th century. So let's take a look. En 1950, l'Union européenne a été créée, created, avec la déclaration du 9 mai. Et la déclaration s'appelle la déclaration Schuman. Donc, le 9 mai 1950, l'Union européenne est née, so to speak. Chaque année, each year, chaque année, la journée de l'Europe est célébrée par les États membres de l'Union européenne. Les États membres. En anglais, c'est member states. And when we're talking about states here, we're not talking about states the way that we do in the US. We're talking about states with a capital S, or in this case, État with a capital E, because they're actually representing countries. Alors, cette journée, today, this day, symbolise la paix entre la France et l'Allemagne. La paix. La paix, c'est peace. Et en 1950, la France et l'Allemagne n'étaient pas amis. They weren't friends. They weren't allied just a few years prior to that, right? Because it was still the Second World War. But now they were starting to find common ground. Alors, la France et l'Allemagne, Germany, parce que ces deux pays, these two countries, ont décidé de coordonner leur production du charbon et de l'acier. Le charbon, coal, l'acier, steel. So they took these two really important and lucrative natural resources, and they decided to pool those resources and also be able to share in whatever income, revenue comes from those resources. Et voici un petit une petite infographie. This shows kind of what it means to be European. So, je suis citoyen européen, a European citizen. Je suis citoyen d'un État de l'Union européenne, a state, or in this case, a country. Et ça, c'est le drapeau français. Je suis aussi citoyen européen. So being a citizen of the European Union does not take away from your citizenship from your home country. It just adds to it. It's another way of identifying. J'appartiens à une communauté de valeurs. J'appartiens, I belong. À une communauté de valeurs. Égalité, citoyenneté, dignité, liberté, justice, solidarité. A lot of these are cognates. They look very much like English. Égalité, that might be the one that's farthest from English, is equality. Justice, liberté, dignité, solidarité. Citoyenneté is citizenship in the sense of getting along. So, la communauté de valeurs, like I said earlier, this is showing the values that those different member states have in common. J'ai des droits, parmi lesquels, so I have, we know that expression, rights, among which are les élections municipales et les élections européennes. So there are people they vote for within their country, there are people they vote for within the entire European Union. Je peux voter dans un autre État membre. So for European elections, you can actually vote within a different country, which is pretty cool, especially if you're living there. Je peux circuler librement dans les États membres. So you are not needing to show your passport every time you cross into a new country. And with there being so many smallish countries in one area that's not that much bigger, if at all bigger, than the US, it makes sense that being able to travel freely would be a big benefit. Je peux lancer des pétitions et initiatives citoyennes. So if I have some kind of a cause that I want to fight for, je peux lancer des pétitions. I can put forth a petition, a initiative citoyenne. So I can also begin initiatives that are working toward changing something. Okay, boom. So this one is a little bit information heavy, a little bit over your head perhaps in terms of some of the information itself, not necessarily the vocabulary, but just do your best. We are answering in English this time. So what does La Journée de l'Europe celebrate? It is the date that something important happened. What two countries combined their coal and steel resources in 1950, leading to the development of the European Union as we know it today? La France et l'Allemagne. If you don't remember what l'Allemagne is, you can rewind this video a little bit. Okay. TPR, this is the same as last week. As you know by now, this goes along with Je suis jalouse. Practice it. Be ready to use it on your Flipgrid. La traduction, Je suis jalouse, partie 1. Same deal as always. Hopefully you wrote it out last week. If not, it is right here. You can write it out. Skip lines. Et puis traduisez en anglais, translated into English. And you will be all set for today. Okay, au revoir tout le monde.